we don't have time to wait around for it to rain, so we load the excavator up, heading off to the next job. Letting the dollar bills pump. Boys, it's getting expensive to fill up now. So, I had to pull off of the clearing job. It just wouldn't rain. And I had a good project. It was perfect weather to go start. So, loaded up the machine this morning and brought it over here. I got about 2 days worth of work on this pond right here. It's a real old farm pond. Shallow, like most old farm ponds are. And it's pretty much just for looks. But somebody else come in here and instead of digging the pond out and making it deeper, they brought in dirt and added to the shoreline to make a shelf around here. So I don't know why we just didn't dig it out of the pond. So I don't know, they brought in a lot of fill dirt when it just could have been dug out of here and made the pond a little deeper. So what I'm going to be doing is starting down here, I'm just going to skim it down to about the water level and add it to this shoreline and add it about 8, 10, 12 feet, kind of whatever it works out, to get a little more depth out here and add to the shoreline. Pretty much what I'm trying to do is get some more depth, because when the pond's full it might be 12 inches deep here. So if I can get it where the shoreline starts right here and it's 2 feet deep, we'll be a lot farther ahead, I think. And then I got to clear the pond dam. Well, I got to mulch the area to the pond dam, to the old overflow. It's a real narrow, the pond dam's only like 6 or 8 feet wide. Mulch that and put in a new overflow pipe, which I'll do at a later date. But while it was nice and dry and the pond was down from not having any rain, I figured it was a good time to go ahead and get this knocked out while I had time. So I'm to finish filling the machine up, get down here and start digging some dirt out. Greased up, ready to go to work. Maybe the mud will keep the traction squeaking, if there is any mud. But have no fear, the pond man is here. Get this taken care of. I don't know why we just didn't dig that material and put it up here like I'm about to do. So the only thing I'm slightly concerned is, since we've already added that, unless I put some more on top of it, it's going to lower our water level down. Because as you saw in the drone view, it's shallow. This is just an old low area. Farmers, you know, back in the 50s, 40s and 50s when this was probably built, they were poor. They didn't have the means that we have nowadays to be able to excavate this out to 20 feet deep. They had enough manpower and mules and tractors to skim these edges out, build a little pond dam barely big enough to fit a golf cart down, and try to dam up enough water to be able to irrigate their crops. That's all they were worried about. So what I'm going to do is come in here at the end, start skimming and cutting that stuff and laying it up on that shoreline, and spreading it out. Everything, I mean, it's a little soft, but it's nothing I don't see as manageable. Somebody's been all out here with a little dingo or a track loader or something. that shoreline right there. Well, I'm going to cut it, lay it over, then I think I can get back on top of it. Now, I'm not cutting much. I'm just trying to get this about 12 inches deeper so that it's actually got some depth to it. And the old pipe is leaking. That's why there's not much water in it. Let's make our first cut here. It's a little wet. It's not going to be dusty. Boy, that water's, that sun's bright shining off of that water. Always takes you a minute to get situated back in the groove of digging mud. It's actually a lot wetter than I was expecting it to be. Wasn't expecting it to have all that water squirting up through it. That'll be okay. It'll just be a little wetter than I was hoping to try to grade out. If I can make it work. Like I said, I'm not taking out a lot, just about 12 inches. To gain a little more depth. And shape up the shorelines. Alright, well let me get back in the groove and start moving some more dirt. And we'll get some more videos throughout the day. So you can kind of see what I'm doing. I'm making a good 12-inch cut here, pretty much down to water level. If I go down below it, you can see how I'm very surprised that the water's coming through as quick as it is, and how saturated the base is. I figured it'd be hard as a brick, but slightly wrong on that, but not afraid. You just kind of think you only have like one shot of going in here and doing it though. So making this cut, as you can tell, starting off at nothing, tapering into 12 inches. Then I'll make another cut right here, lay it against the bank, and grade it out as I go. And yeah, it's coming along pretty nicely, I think. right up here, I don't have to cut a whole lot on the pond side because it's pretty much at water level. But you can see as soon as I go over, I'm getting down to that 12 inches, and I'll probably end up being more than that to get some depth. I don't think it was very deep there at all. I was basing everything off of the pond being, you know, this being 2 feet of water, but that might be 6 inches of water there. So I got to cut a little more in some areas and a little less in some other areas, and it just kind of all averages out. But luckily, everything I'm cutting right now is it's not dusty by no means, but it's fairly decent material to grade. You're not going to drive a tractor on it, but I can get this back on top of it and smear it around. So I pretty much got one shot to come in here and dig this out, lay it over. It's a very sandy material. You can tell by how it's not sticking to the bucket, so it should drain pretty good. But it's pretty soft. So like right here, I'm pretty much right here at the water level, so I'm just skimming it down to that level and keeping my level. I can keep it level off and back, and then I'll know how much I need to cut out. And that's pretty much, that's the way to kind of cheat and not have to use a laser, is kind of pull your grade off of the water level. I'm a little deep there now after that cut, but and the water will kind of start filling in there, the groundwater, and it'll kind of keep you pretty much level. That just saves you from having to get out and check grade. Plus you can kind of eyeball it and see it. Well, I can. Not everybody can. Some of this is still pretty sloppy. I think it should dry out fairly quickly, even if I have to let it sit for a few days before I can finish grading it out. I think it'll dry out enough to be able to be manageable. Should grow some pretty good grass though. That sprocket hasn't got in the mud yet, so it's still kind of squeaky. Once it gets some mud on it, it'll quiet down. Can't get over how wet this stuff is. I was just counting on it being just as dry as it could be. But luckily, I'm pretty good at dealing with mud. everything I do have to skim off is pretty much right at that level where it goes from something solid to soup. Alright, I'm going to keep on working my way around here. I didn't get any video, but I was coming along that edge right here, and I got to right here, and it's deep right there. I don't know if that was the old creek channel for this pond or what. Next thing I know, I was over top of the tracks there. I was like, uh-oh, I got to get out of here. So I got pulled over here to the side and was able to get out. So luckily I don't have to cut down a whole lot right there. And I'm going to keep trying to run down this shoreline and sit back a little bit farther back. It's pretty flat, but maybe once I get back over here, I can get back over there. I'm going to try to get that stump and mess that's growing and dress this shoreline up. It's kind of really rough down there. Getting kind of soft again. I can't get as close to the edge as I want to, but I can reach about what I need to. I got to go slow because if I grab something, it just like instantly sucks you down way deeper than you need to be. Just trying to skim some off. You can tell I'm adding about 10 feet to the shoreline to waste it out. That'll give me plenty of material to fix this edge, because I don't know what happened behind me, but you'll see it here in a minute. This is the damnedest mess I've seen. I'll probably go down there and take a tour of it so I can get a game plan on what I need to do. So I'm cutting this out. I should be able to sit up on top of the bank and reach the rest of this from the shoreline when I make the second pass and grade it out. Yet if this stuff's going to be dry enough, or am I going to have to go down there on the other end and start down there. But I'm going to lay it up here and see what it'll become. This right here is soup though. Oh yeah, the mess. I don't know what exactly was going on there. It's just like somebody reached out there and just dug. So I'm going to attempt to go down there and dress it up. If not, I might have to go out from the bank and reach out. I don't know if I can drive out there, because I'm sinking pretty bad right here. I want to get whatever that group of mess is right there and get that cleaned up. Feel the machine going down. See how when you break through it just turns to complete liquid? I was not expecting that. But it's what I got, and it's what I've got to deal with, so making it work. I don't know why there's a random thing of bushes growing up there. that's gonna need a little bit of time to dry, I do believe. Soupy, very soupy. Let me get spun around, see if I can't get that bush out without getting stuck. That looks 10 times better just getting rid of that. What bush? Bush be gone. It's about to be excavator be gone if I don't pay attention here. The only problem with this tilt bucket is you really can't use mats because I can't use the thumb and the tilt at the same time. I can cut the tilt off and be able to use the thumb, but then just use it as a cleanup bucket. So I mean, I guess you could do it that way. But as far as trying to scoop up mats, yes, it's doable. Is it practical? No. So I could probably use some mats, but I'm gonna make do with what I got right here. I just know that I got one shot right here to get it done, and then that's it. This mess will dry out and I'll be able to do something with it, because right now that's too wet. That's pure liquid. I'll get it though. So having to abort going down the edge is just, it's really soft. But this is kind of the ugliest part, I guess you could say. That's the shoreline. Not very pretty looking, is it? Got a nice house overlooking a real nice pond, and you got this mess right here. So I'm gonna pull out right there, and then I think I can run down this shoreline and sit up here and reach out there, because all that's where it needs to be. It just needs to, obviously should be shaped up. It's just kind of like a free-for-all, dig wherever we wanted to dig, I guess. I'm not exactly sure, but I can make it look nicer than that. Just give me a little bit of time. So I'm working on off of the shoreline now. It's going pretty good. Just kind of gotta go slow here. What I'm doing, I'm just trying to skim off the high spots where they dug out there before, lay it on the bank, and then as that dries I can come back in here and shape all this out. Because as you can tell, it's just kind of like a mess. So this will gain about another, foot or so of depth right here, and then shape up the shoreline, using the spoils to kind of help, well, make everything look nicer. That floods. I probably need to go down there and throw some dirt up in there so that doesn't, I don't really suppose it's going to hurt anything. Go ahead and put water down there where I've cut out. I don't know, I may probably need to avoid that right now. That way I can make my other cut and not be in water. Yeah, let me run down here and throw a little cofferdam up so it won't flood my cut. So from standing up here at the driveway, you can kind of see what I've done. Made a pass all the way down there from the water's edge back. Cut that, laid it up here. As you can tell, it was the shallowest up here, so the water was pretty far away from the bank here, so I'll have to make another cut and lay that up here. But everywhere else, pretty much that first pass got it towards the bank, so now I just got to get in there, grade it into the bank. So right, pretty much from about the machine through here, I'll transfer all this back one more time and blend that into the bank, and then go down there and start working on that edge. Or I might go down there and work my way back. I don't know. I may go down there and see how that works, see if it's dried out enough where I can just start from that corner and work my way back. Coming along. Far side cut out. It's going really well. See, I'm getting everything cut down. Add the dirt to the shoreline. I'm adding it out about 10 or 12 feet. And hopefully water's edge can come about pretty much all the way up here to the top. That's what I'm going to shoot for, and actually have some actual depth. So I'm making a pretty good little cut here. And by making the pond a little bit smaller, I got a place to waste all the dirt. Mud. More like mud, not dirt. It's actually some really good material, so it should grow some good grass around here. All it is all the sediment off these fields from years and years and years. I'm digging it deeper than it was ever before, even when it was built. material faster than I can dig it, so I'll grab some of this because I'm going to have plenty up in there. Not the best spot in the world to waste it, so I'll transfer a touchdown this way. I love grading stuff out with this bucket. It's just been a huge game changer in the way I run everything. Before I would have had to dump this up here and rake it out, try to come back with a mini, with a grading bucket, or after it dried out, try to clean it up. Nope. Sit right here now and do it all at one pass. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not pristine, but it don't look half bad. Up here can be, once this dries out next spring or whatever, drug over with a tractor and a drag, box blade, and it'll look fine and dandy. here and I'm going to call it a day. Well, on dredging, I'm going to go down there. That spot down there by the dam. I'm gonna finish laying that mud up on the bank, that way it can dry, because it'll be 3 or 4 days before I come back.
been hard at it here, working away. It's really starting to shape up in this direction. Let's see if I can put the bucket where the sun is. So I'm making the second cut as I'm coming along and laying it up on the shoreline, cutting the bank and blending it into the ground pretty much as level as I possibly can to raise this up as high as I possibly can, because once I put the overflow in, I'll shoot the grade off of this, and this will kind of dictate how high I can raise the water up. So I'm trying to lay it up on the bank a little bit and try to get it just as high as I can. They put that other dirt in there, so I really don't want to throw any more up there. So that's pretty much where it's going to kill those trees if I put any more dirt around them. But that used to be the old pond bank, so when I come in here and kind of split the difference another 10 or 12, 15 feet, whatever it works out, it'll kind of make the pond smaller, like I said, but it'll also give it some depth now, because I'm going from a bank that has 12 inches of fall to close to 3 feet, maybe a little bit more.
Well, I'm really happy with the progress I made today. Got the house side, all that laid up here next to the bank so it can dry out. The head section up here, got that one cut, it laid back. All I got to do is make one more cut and blend it into the slope. And we'll walk all the way down here. I couldn't get out there as far as I wanted to. It got very, very soft. I wasn't expecting it to be quite that soft. But you just drove out there and you just, I mean, I was to the top of the tracks there in a couple spots and it won't stopping. So no need to bury the machine out there to get 3 more inches of depth. So that's about all I was going to skim off. But the main goal was to get this cut down at least another foot to 18 inches. And I think I've accomplished that. Like I said, you go from looking at the bank right here, it might be 12 inches deep, to once I've cut it out and fixed the new bank over here, because I'm going to try to raise the water up a little bit. And that should allow me about raising this bank up a little bit. So all that's cut out. And the slope graded in. A lot of mud, but it's coming along. About one more day, should have it wrapped up.